Ganon must survive. She must fulfill her destiny and bring about the downfall of Queen Bavmorda. Her powers are growing like an evil plague. Unless she is stopped, Bavmorda will control the lives of your village, your children, everyone. All creatures of good heart need your help, Willow. The choice is cheat codes.
It's June 6th, 2016. Welcome to episode 100 of the Cheat Codes Podcast. Woo. And everybody said it couldn't be done. Thank you for tuning in. We're always glad to have you with us. It is safe to say we're long running yet. Can we say that?
Yes.
Long running? Okay.
The long running show.
I'm not sure, but 100 episodes seems like a lot. We're celebrating like a bunch of stupid daikinis. Nobody here has seen Willow, but that's what they refer to as humans, okay?
Thanks for clearing that up for me.
Great. We're coming to you from a boisterous brothel, and Val Kilmer is trying to convince a large barbarian named Lug that he's a woman. You're welcome.
Good luck.
Yep. The next hour is us drinking a few beers and going over our favorite bits from the past week, video game tech and pop culture news. My name is Joe Erskine. Today I'm here with Cheat Codes producer and editor, Mr. Joe Franjon Arroyo.
Hi.
Cheat Codes consumer, Mr. Nick Rule Golish.
Hey, how's it going?
Cheat Codes community manager, Mr. Chris Mad Mardigan Morris.
Mad Mardigan.
Cheat Codes YouTube aficionado and graphics wizard, Mr. Bernard Hi Aldwin Hong.
Hi.
To our very profound pleasure, we're welcoming back to the program to help us celebrate narrative designer, indie game dev, and songwriter, from what I understand, Alexandra Sorsha Lucas.
Hey.
Soulbound developer, OG cheat coder, and longtime friend of the show, Mr. Nathan Burgle-Cut Go Hitchcock.
Why did I get the weird?
I read that as Burgle Butt.
Burgle-Cut.
I totally read a button.
It's good. And lastly, associate producer at Bungie, pants hater, and general wise guy, Mr. Sapir Migosh Patel.
I really wanted Burgle butt.
Burgle.
Dude, why?
It's so disappointing you guys
You're not
haven't
wearing
seen
any, are you? Oh, yes, you are. That sucks.
Today on the show, we're going to steal a baby with a bird of prey to get to the main topics. Elon Musk reminded us that we live in an elaborate video game. And Google is assuring everyone AI won't destroy us because they're making an off switch. And Vice makes an argument for criticizing game critics appropriately. For today's lightning round, we'll toss and consult the bones to sort out the following bits. We're going to ask ourselves why we didn't buy any Steam machines. And lastly, a bunch of rad fucking dudes are building Battlefront 3, and anyone that could stop them seems to not care. So that's kind of great. All right. First of all, thank you all, each and every one of you, Bernard, Chris included, for being here for our 100th episode. Let's all raise a glass really, really quickly. Have a toast, some decent ass whiskey.
We made it.
Not the best, but
We survived.
I can't really cheers anybody. I'm so far away.
There we go.
Most TV shows don't even
weird.
make it this long, but we're not a TV show, so there you go.
Lower
The
production
Sopranos,
costs.
so.
It's good we don't have to worry about getting
There you go.
reviewed because no one would ever pick us back up for another season.
We make our own
Go to
rules.
Netflix originals.
Cheers.
Straight to
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
That's the quietest we're going to be for the next hour.
Yeah, you've all been guests on the show more than once, and we thought having some great friends of the show, and in real life too, come and join us and hang out. So we just want to let you know how grateful we are that you're all here to celebrate with us. It's true. Real quick, let everyone know what you're all working on and what's on the horizon for all of you. Alexandra, ladies first, give us a quick update.
I'm so writing localization stuff with Plarium. Very exciting times. Yeah, and writing songs. I have a friend who runs a choir in Israel, and he writes music and I write lyrics. So that's been a lot of fun to hear a choir actually
You wanna
sing my stuff.
Shout it out. Shout him out.
Well,
Elon Kaplan is his name. Can't remember the university because of course not. So,
on the spot.
but
Okay.
yeah, it's been fun. That's what I'm up to.
Nice.
Awesome.
Mr. Hitchcock, tell me what you're up to, buddy.
All right, Soulbound Studios just got funded. Our Kickstarter just went through 2 days ago for 1.36 million.
Damn.
I gave you like
Congrats.
$25, so you owe me a hand job.
Holy crap! Hey, my hand jobs are 30.
It's a reason. I'm pretty sure that's one of the tiers.
No, it was an early backer hand job.
There was only 5 available. The early bird.
The early backer is a reach around.
Oh my god.
And we're off.
Yes. Fucking 0 to 60, man. Samir, tell me what's happening, buddy.
So I've been working on myself. I've recently gotten into cycling and climbing, and I'm learning how to fire dance.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
That's
cool.
all
I've seen the video.
legitimately
I've seen
true
some
things. Yeah.
Yep, they're all, legit, straight up. I can show you fire dancing later.
I would, if only there
Do
were
I need to
6
bring
people in this
singles or
No.
no singles?
No, I
Is there any way we can do fire dancing during the episode?
For the benefit of us or the listener?
We should turn this into a video podcast
just for that
right
moment.
now.
All right.
Phones out.
Well, we're glad to have you as our guests for the 100th episode. Thank you all for being here. Chris, you want to chime in here too? Bernard as well? At the same time,
Yeah,
ready to go.
I'm working on this game. It's called Lawbreakers. You shoot pew dudes in the face and break some laws, and there's some gravity. And we passed Overwatch on Twitch last night, so that was pretty cool.
Snap, son.
That's it. It's all right. It's pretty all right.
Okay. Bernard, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing good. I've been working on some indie stuff, so not much to say about that, I guess.
Bernard,
The
hello.
most exciting one for last.
Fucking humble as fuck. That
Super
guy.
secret indie stuff.
Yeah, super secret and stuff. All right, well, congratulations. Work is good for everybody involved. I mean, I think last time we were here, some of us were working, some of us were not. But now everybody seems to be working, gainfully employed. Means we can keep buying beer to keep doing the show. All right.
Episode 200, here we come.
Milestones, motherfucker. You know what I mean? All right, very quickly, let's talk about what we're washing the episode down with. When you end up in the aforementioned boisterous brothel with your much larger and clumsier companions or getting in bar fights with barbarians, we like to take a swim in a barrel of beer.
I like the alliteration.
In this case, it might be a barrel of cider, however. Today's selection, the Bad Apple Imperial Hard Apple Cider, comes from the folks at Two Town Cider House.
Cider host.
I'm pretty sure that's how the Germans pronounce it. Fuck you. Anyway.
Cider Hosen.
Cider.
I like to point out hose in his pants.
Yeah. Cider. And I'm pretty sure Samir wouldn't drink it if that was the case. So,
Call me when there's a cider shorts brewery.
I hate pants.
I got to give a shout out to, I got this Ballast Point Pineapple Sculpin
Ugh,
IPA.
that sounds
It's like,
horrible.
God damn, son.
Yeah, it's great. It's grapefruit or
Is it
bust.
good?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty
And
good.
some of us are drinking some Stone Mix Pack, and there's some whiskey flowing around tonight. It is a celebration, after all. All right, are we ready? Are we going to try and actually do a fucking episode or
Yeah.
what?
It's going to be a
try.
mess, but let's do
Number
it.
1.
All right. Elon Musk recently gave an interview, and long story short, he basically tried to explain an idea posited before by a few scientists and theorists that the world we know and understand is a simulation an advanced society has created because games got too good and time is a wheel. Seriously, though, he reiterates the idea that we're all constructs of another iteration of some other generation, a more evolved and advanced one. So who wants the first crack at this shit, huh?
Why are you so entertained by it?
I think it's hilarious. Like,
What do you think? I mean, you seem to have like a big opinion about it.
what
You're
makes you
laughing
think
at it.
I wrote?
Yeah, why are you laughing?
I
giggling.
think,
Seem a
look,
little
I think it takes.
skeptical.
I think it takes a very large set of musky balls to
Elon Musky.
that was the joke I was trying to make.
God, Samir.
That to come out and just be like, I admit to the fact that I believe that everyone lives in a video game. Now, that's not exactly what he did. He was very, I think, diplomatic in his approach into answering the question that he received from the audience. The video's on the article, and we'll
And then
link to it.
Polygon got a hold of it, and they're like, Elon Musk thinks we're in Overwatch.
It's like, thanks for the Tesla cars and Hyperloop. See you later, buddy. You know, but no, I think ultimately, like, there is, I guess, a mathematical logic to what he's talking about.
Yes.
Do I think we actually live in a simulation? If you ask me, you put a gun on my head, I'm going to say no. But it's a fun thought to have.
Statistically, his logic makes sense. It's the same logic they use to justify the existence of other intelligent life in the universe. Just like the fact that our universe has existed for an infinite amount of time and will exist for an infinite amount of time, or speculatively, that means that there have to be every possible permutation of things happening, which means eventually a simulation has to exist, right? So using that logic, basically,
It works. It works in conjunction with the multiverse theory very
Right.
easily, where at every moment, each one of you could have chosen not to be on this fucking podcast today. And that created an alternate reality where you weren't, and we were,
You're probably
less
just in a
off as
different place
result.
getting drunk, so whatever.
Yeah. And being like, oh, thank God I bailed on that.
Well, so If
I
we're
learned
living
anything
in a
from the
sim,
Flash TV show, there's an Earth 1 and an Earth 2 and then a bunch of other ones as well. Nathan, aren't you working on like a MMO that's just going to be a simulation of reality or something like that?
Yeah, eventually. I mean, that's what it will become, of course. Inevitably.
Cool. Nice. I think that's what EVE Online's going towards as well,
Yeah,
right?
we're gonna meet
They're already there.
We're starting later. They're in the past iteration of the universe. We're in the next iteration of the universe, so we're actually a whole universe ahead of them.
That makes sense.
That makes logical sense.
Okay.
Alexandra, what were you?
Yeah.
Oh, I was just to say, so if we're living in a sim, maybe the next level of technology is we can communicate with our AI overlords. And I mean, holy shit, can we start this one over? Like, I'm wondering how many redos we get, and if so, can I be Scarlett Johansson in the next one? That would be my primary request.
I want to ask them why they always remove the ladder from the pool when I'm in it. Because I get tired and I want to get out, and then all of a sudden the ladder is gone.
The important questions. Nice.
Wait, this
Or
is
like,
turning
why
into
is the door missing from my house, and then for whatever reason they're lighting off fireworks?
Who's going to pick up all this garbage?
Yeah. I remember a while ago, Nate, you had a conversation about this, and it was something about it takes more molecules to simulate all the molecules in a universe or something. So like it's not realistically possible maybe to even for this to even exist. Like,
well, actually, that just means that our current simulation of our universe couldn't be larger than the existing simulation of the universe. So we don't know how large the previous, like the thing that we're inside of is.
Yeah, we can't live outside of our
universe.
simulation.
Yeah.
So like our universe is not infinite and it's smaller than. So then
right.
So then there's no infinite possibilities of us actually being in.
Unless the previous universe is infinite, in which case our current universe could be infinite minus one, which is.
Plus, we can already represent infinity in floating point on computers. So,
that's true.
God damn it.
There's no reason why we can't just go ahead.
Bernard, save me from the madness.
The madness.
I don't know if I can add to that conversation, but I guess since you guys seem to know a lot more about this, like, if you could explain this in layman's terms, I mean, that'd be much appreciated.
Please. Oh, I thought you were gonna, I thought he was going to do it. Actually, okay, all right.
It's based on the theory that because of the way that we exponentially grow technology, looking at our own spot right now, and then looking 10,000 years in the future, which in an evolutionary standpoint is not very long at all. Imagine where technology will be. It's very likely that we'd be able to create some sort of simulation where the entities inside of it think they're perfectly legitimately real,
alive and real.
Yeah. Right. So if that future exists, then that future could potentially be now, and
the one that we're living in right now.
And there's some other society that created us.
So we're using behavior trees, maybe.
Yeah, right. If can shoot at target, then shoot.
And that is a hot debate in the current political climate. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, don't take our guns.
It's just a bull.
Does any like if you guys had to throw out like the game or at least like a fantastical scenario that you want to live in, I want to hear it. Can we round table this?
Well, I think that's a good point. Just
Sword
because.
Sort of.
Yeah, the one where you really die if you die in the game. That's
Try to get out of the game, you're dead.
That is the game we're in.
I guess. There's no proof of that.
There's no proof.
But I lost my point.
Go ahead. Eve. The answer is Eve. Great.
We know Eve. I'm saying if we're a video game, why didn't they choose a cooler setting, like a sci-fi setting or something, like spaceships or Eve?
I don't think you get to choose the setting that you're in. I'm asking, but if you could, what would it be?
We don't know what setting they're in, though. This could be a really cool setting to them. They could be like, they could live in, I don't know, like Africa. Like, what? It'd be really cool if we had like a... Okay. That would
I heard Joe Berg is really nice this time of year. What's the problem?
Turn off his microphone now.
Come on, man.
I mean, I get where you were trying to go with that, but man.
No, I understand that point of view. It's just, it'd be cooler if we could fly around. I feel like we'd have like... It'd be more interesting no matter what because we can fly around.
Right.
Well, if Japan has their way by 2020 Olympics, flying cars, bro.
Oh my God.
Well, so Musk is concerned about us becoming human pets, if I read the article correctly.
That is correct.
And so I think we're thinking about this the wrong way. Like, what would life be like as a human pet, if you think about it?
Easier.
I would
if I could have control of my own Tamagotchi, then I want to just hit my own buttons and then just take care of myself, and I'm good. So go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry. What were you going to say?
No, I just said I'd have someone to scratch behind my ears and feed me kibble and take me out for walks.
Shit wherever you want.
Poop wherever you want.
That's right. Yeah.
Have sex with random other human pets in the park.
And my owner's leg.
Sometimes just to show
That sounds
dominance.
amazing.
I feel like we're just talking about Chris's life at this point.
The whole pets thing's definitely not like a new concept.
The
But.
question still stands though. Bernard, what scenario would you prefer to live if you were going to be like relegated to a simulation for the rest of your known life? What kind of scenario would you like to be in?
StarCraft.
Overwatch is pretty fun right now, I guess.
But who would you be? Who would you be in Overwatch?
He'd be Roadhog. Come on.
Or would you just be Bernard?
The Tracer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, fair enough.
I almost believe you.
I was gonna say maybe McCree, but
Yeah, but he's getting nerfed. No one wants to be the guy that gets nerfed.
Come on.
Bernard would be the male version of Diva.
Wait,
Because I'm Korean.
Yep.
Nice stretch in logic. Okay.
are you guys done?
Dude, Bernard just like crushed his tea. I'm pretty sure there's alcohol in there. He just like heard that and he was just like, I'm down in this bitch. Fuck that.
Yeah, give me more tea.
Yeah. He is Korean.
Wait. Okay, so do we open up the religious can of worms briefly with this
No.
many people? Well,
No.
the thing is, if
there's a rule on this podcast.
if we discover that we
There's
are
rules.
in a simulation and that something created us, then our creator becomes our god. So
Yes.
how do we deal with that?
Group of people.
I mean, it wouldn't
Gods
be a
don't
problem.
necessarily be our creators, though.
Jesus is a hell of a fucking programmer. That's all I'm saying.
It's just gonna be just like some fat, nerdy, neckbeard alien sitting behind.
It's the guy from the South Park World of Warcraft.
He's gonna be like covered in fucking like intergalactic Cheetos dust.
Present him with Doritos and Mountain Dew, and
That's
that's
right.
our offerings.
Whatever their version of that is.
Sacrifice Chester Cheetah on the altar.
You're like, what if we're just somebody's like messed up version of City Skyline? Like, this is just someone's game
No,
that's going.
they messed it up with the newest expansion anyway, so it's cool.
Oh, can you imagine if we were
Thinly
controlled?
veiled game reviews they were like managing to squeeze in here.
It's actually kind of great, right?
It's super fucking meta, dude.
I'm actually curious what if we're the subject of somebody who's really trying super hard to succeed at this game and they're not very good?
What if we're the bugs
So they're
that
just
piss
like,
that
oh,
programmer
fuck,
off?
you're dead. Damn it!
What if we're not even really?
So sad, right?
I can say with confidence, he really fucked up with my stat point distribution.
That's a designer's problem. Probably not the programmer, but
I'm sorry.
all right. Can we move on? Are we willing to let this one go? You sure?
Did
All
we
right.
convince you, Joe?
Of what?
That we're in a video game?
I still want to know which simulations you guys live in, but maybe think about it. We can address it next
It's
time.
the same simulation. We love it, the same
Or never.
I'm more concerned about what you would ask the person who created you, because it's more like what's the purpose?
I
of
think my
life?
question would be closer to Samir's. Be like, really?
Yeah.
This is what I got?
How do I pull up the debug HUD?
Yeah. Where's the tilt?
How do I get into God mode? Yeah, that kind of thing.
like show
can we
collision. So
Can we turn the cheat variable to true on the server so I can start doing some stuff?
yeah, there's got to be
Fly
a
cheats.
switch for like infinite health.
Yeah.
Somebody.
I want to know who's modding this fucking simulation.
Yeah.
That's what I want to know.
Yeah, when do we get the graphics update?
That's like Uncanny Valley. That's a weird way to. I don't even know how to make sense of that.
I want to, yeah.
The mod API is
Maybe
coming.
this is what like Buddhist monks deal with on a daily basis. Is this like internal monologue? Yeah, exactly. All right.
Number 2.
During his interview, Musk mentioned an unnamed company that was pretty obvious would be the one that he was worried about most developing AI. As what could be considered a tacit response to these comments, Google, in case you had doubts about who Musk meant, has declared that while their efforts to manifest the singularity are basically happening, they're engineering a kill switch. Skynet has an off button. Question mark? If only we could be so lucky. There's a bit more to this, and we're going to get into it a little bit. The long and short of it is that while the Google DeepMind project continues, they've published a public document detailing how they're going to put a failsafe on the AI in case the Matrix actually happens. What they've admitted to, however, is that it does not port to all of their algorithms, and therefore doesn't really act as a kill switch, because if their shit gets too powerful, then they can't really turn it off. So we're all fucked.
Plus, it's not going to be compatible with iOS anyway.
Fucking Apple, man.
And if it is, you're going to have to get a new charger cable.
The AI can't be charged by micro USB. You got to get a lightning cable instead.
Of course you do.
I think. Go ahead.
No, I didn't say anything.
Huh?
Oh, I said. I mean, it's AI. Of course, it's gonna be super fast and sleek like Apple. So.
Well, if it's a good AI, then it's obviously not going to let itself be killed, right? I mean, right.
Possibly. I mean, there's like two outcomes. You either got the iRobot outcome or you got the Matrix outcome, pretty much. It's
Great.
yeah. Both kind of suck. One sucks more, but
As long as I get to watch, Linda Hamilton like clutch a chain link fence and die in a shockwave from an atomic bomb.
Wow.
So the problem with the safe interruptibility that Google is coming up with is that the safe interruptibility, basically they're just saying that the robots need us to do something, to fulfill a purpose. The example they gave was a robot sorting boxes or bringing boxes in from the outside. Having humans be able to say, stop, don't go outside, it's raining, it'll break you. But as soon as a robot says, like, oh, well, I can make a program that will see if it's raining outside and stop me, they don't need a human anymore, and they've essentially, like, short-circuited the safe interruptibility. So I don't really see a scenario where a robot couldn't, like, a smart enough robot couldn't just say, oh, well, I'll just make another thing to fix that for me.
Isn't that the whole problem of the different phases of the singularity? The first one is that the robots start to replace all of our work, and our economy ruptures, and we don't really understand how to be useful human beings in our own world. And then it becomes that the robots realize that the work they're doing for the humans, they can also supplement everything the humans do.
Right.
And therefore,
and then
we're no longer
we can be replaced.
necessary.
so you're suggesting.
Yeah, but I think the robots will still have us make movies and video games for them, probably.
Yeah, creative stuff.
So
that
we're
makes sense,
safe.
because
we're totally safe.
until they're super.
But those robots are so busy already creating simulations that we all exist in anyway. So
Well, who
And
said
it's
it was
come full
robots who
circle.
created our simulation?
I assume that those robots are
Yeah, but if we
artificially intelligent.
What is a robot?
if we live in
What
a
if we're robots?
A non-organic being that was probably originally engineered by a human and then became, the singularity happens, it becomes its conscious, and then we're fucked.
if we live in
that's the moral of the story.
simulation already, aren't we already artificial intelligence?
Bam.
So we're already on their side.
Yeah.
What if
we're them? We are the robots.
Time is a wheel, bro.
Oh god.
What does that even
I do
mean?
welcome our robot overlords.
I'm just quoting True Detective,
but I don't think you know what it means.
Time is a wheel. I'm going to stare out this window and smoke a cigarette while we go to a murder scene. No,
Who's getting murdered?
Thanks, McConaughey.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah,
True Detective.
that was all right.
Oh, jeez.
Can you all join me in a giant fuck you for that one?
On three?
No, it's fine. I want to know why are they advertising a kill switch that doesn't work?
Well,
Thank you. Yes.
Save face, right? The layman isn't going to know that they're like, isn't going to be able to think about that. They're just going to say, oh, okay, well, AI is safe now, right? I mean,
Congratulations, we can make it kill you slowly.
Right.
Well, the concern about AI taking over, it was Stephen Hawking and Elon Musk. There's a big article about that, right? About how they're working towards that. So I think that was
The Open
equally
AI
hyped.
project.
Right. So maybe it's just kind of a buzz thing. I mean, you can see in this article, I feel like there's not a lot of awareness of the language being used. Like, misbehaving. It made me really uncomfortable because it's kind of treating the AI like a pet. Again, going back to the pet thing, like a sentient thing. So I don't know. That's getting kind of scary that we're going to be treating them like that. But also, safe interruptibility. It made me think of a selling point for mild erectile dysfunction medication.
If your AI exists for more than 4 hours, consult an engineer.
Maybe get someone else on those press releases.
Well played. Well played. Bernard! What happens when the kill switch doesn't work, man? What happens?
So, I mean, that's sort of, like, if I kind of understand the logic they're going for, like, let's say, like, for us, like, for human beings, like, let's say, if you were to die, you just get reincarnated as something else. Like,
Sounds like Eve.
right, well, okay, so, like, following that logic, like, that means, like, if you were to die, that wouldn't really actually do much, right, because you just come back to life, but you would never kill yourself because of, I guess, the danger of that. So the kill switch that doesn't do anything sort of makes sort of sense to me, I guess, following that logic. I don't know if I'm just like...
So that the robot can reincarnate itself?
Well, it's the fear of, it's like not... It's like...
Not knowing if it'll be turned back on.
It assumes that it's gonna... Yeah, it assumes like it's gonna be like this critical thing that's gonna happen, like that would happen. So from that, I guess, sort of fear, like we're sort of engineering fear into that logic where it's like it wouldn't do that because it's afraid to.
Did you watch Ex Machina? I mean, she found out that she's like being raped.
Spoilers!
Spoiler alert.
It's a good movie.
Dude,
It's
they're
a really
literally
good movie.
programming fear into the robots. Like,
Yeah,
all of us are like, guys, don't tell the robots, but the Switch does shit.
Not for nothing. there are agencies. I think European, like a German outfit, has figured out how to like simulate pain in robots, where like if they get
Well,
some
that's
too hot or whatever, like it recoils.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think Bernard might be onto something in the sense that like that kind of behavior might be.
You're trying to
systematic.
condition an AI not to kill us by
making it fear death.
by making it fear us, so it can figure out different ways to not
Whoa.
It's
not
circumvent that fear.
Just
If
the
it's
Didn't the
one
robot
thing-
just kill you so that you couldn't shut it off?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
Well, it wouldn't try to, right?
If it's
Because
one
No.
thing history
Have
has
the power.
taught us, is that controlling with fear always works.
Always, every single time.
QED.
always is every single time.
There's gonna be that dog robot, like that video where the dude's like kicking over the damn dog, and then it's gonna like be like, you kicked me over for the last time, motherfucker, and then it's gonna just choke him out. And that's gonna be it.
wait, the dog is gonna choke the.
Yeah, the fucking robot dog's gonna choke him out, and it's gonna be it.
You know it doesn't have hands.
They don't have opposable thumbs, dude.
It'll figure it out. It'll crush you.
It'll make some.
Okay.
It'll write a program or
It'll
something.
3D print some
It'll
hands.
write a simulation in which it happens.
That's kind
Oh god, this is so meta.
of too meta.
I'm having a good time.
The podcast is a wheel, you guys.
Where's the kill switch?
No, yeah, the fear concept does actually make.
I think that's
a lot
actually
of
the best
sense.
argument I've heard from the lot of you. Well done, Bernard.
Bernard wins 1 point.
Too bad this isn't the lightning round. No, I'm into it. But so does Elon Musk and Stephen Hawking? Do they have grounds to feel like there needs to be a more like their project, the OpenAI project that they've started, as opposed to Google's DeepMind project? Does there need to be a more like policed effort to kind of maintain it while we develop it, as opposed to just
I think
developing it and seeing what happens?
I think they're delusional if they think they can stop it. Like it's going to happen eventually, no matter what.
I don't. They're not. They're not trying to stop it. The OpenAI project is about. Wait, you mean stop them killing us?
Yeah.
That's a really different. Oh, okay. Well, shit.
Nick is a robot, guys.
That wouldn't fucking surprise me in the least, actually. But
Oh my god. What I don't like about this is they're kind of making it seem like they're the ones who made this concept sexy and cool and everyone wants to talk about it all of a sudden. Ray Kurzweil, meanwhile, has been screaming down a well for the past fucking 15 years and no one gave a shit about what he had to say.
he also happens to work at Google.
Well, Isaac Asimov was like,
Oh, well, he,
Yeah.
Oh.
like
that's
50, 80
scary.
years ago or something. I don't know. Also, so it's like, it's the same
It goes
thing.
back. Bolstrom. They even reference Bolstrom in the article, I believe, and he's another one who's spent a lot of most of his life trying to warn people about this, figure out ways to make basically empathetic AI and things like that. And then suddenly Elon Musk does it, and everyone like, oh, he's so cool. He made the Tesla cheap for me.
He definitely seems to be like the flavor of the past
I like,
couple years, I guess, or instead of the month. but
User credibility, I guess.
Sure,
If he's
sure.
shining light on it, good for
Exactly.
him, I guess.
I like the Dune approach. They never really talk about it. There's no real book about it, but in the Dune history, there was like a machine uprising, and people were like, "Fuck that! We're just gonna make people like as smart as computers." And so they had like these people that act as computers, pretty much. And so nobody actually had handheld computers anymore. It was.
So okay, that's actually kind of an interesting point too, because at what point do we get to where the two are indistinguishable then?
I don't know. Like
that's the suggestion of most of the individuals who claim this is how we survive the singularity, is we become one with it. We transfer our consciousness into robotic frames or whatever that might be, or we find a way to merge with the technology. Otherwise, it's just here's the technology merging, and then here's humans standing there looking at it like,
Wait, to keep up with that, like biohack or figure out a way to like.
put it this way. How sick are you guys of carrying a phone around? I mean, can't we just put that shit in our body already?
Yeah, well, Google tried to do that too, and then they called them glass holes.
Wait.
Wait.
You didn't have to get on your computer to go to Pornhub. You could just like view it in your eyeballs. It'd be amazing.
Right, that's
More
always
importantly,
porn.
I'm having a conversation with my wife, but I'm watching Pornhub right now.
Where's the charging port gonna be?
It's like,
You know, Samir. You know exactly.
You know what? If that's the case, I am not sick of carrying my phone around.
It'll
fine.
be fine. It'll be lightning charge port.
But what happens when the next,
minimal
like,
intrusion.
the next tech comes out and it's like Lightning 2 and it's
We
like,
already have
that is
wireless
longer.
charging. You just have to like sit on something.
just buy a fucking Samsung, dude. You're good. Yeah.
You just gotta sit on it and just spin around for a little bit.
It'll go back to those old motel beds that you put a quarter in and it just goes.
It would vibrate.
I'm all charged.
And then they have communal ones, like you're at the mall and you're running low.
It's like going into a steam room. Everyone's uncomfortable, but we all need to do it.
There's the tacit agreement. As long as we keep our towels on, it's fine. As soon as the towel comes off, hopefully somebody puts some water on the coals so there's enough steam that I can't see you. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Pretty much.
So,
I thought Chris wanted to say something.
Chris, go ahead, buddy.
No, I was just laughing about the communal charging butt plugs. That's it.
I was talking about wireless charging.
Yeah, I heard shake beds. I did not.
Not everything's about amiibos.
Right up Amiibos. This is literally the inner monologue of every listener right now. It's like I thought he was talking about what?
I thought he was talking about Amiibos
Yeah.
the whole time.
All right.
Let's clear it up right now
Sure.
because the inside joke moving forward, the Chicots podcast is related to the article that ranked all of the amiibos about how good they be as butt plugs. And ever since then, amiibos have somehow come up in every episode of this damn show. So there you go.
Should we
bring it up
change
again,
TTC to TTA?
time to amiibo?
Yeah. as a butt plug?
30 minutes, 59 seconds.
The margin is getting smaller. That's all I'm saying. All right.
Speaking of which, number 3.
Number 3. After a bit of a scuffle in the news over how one Polygon writer posted a video of themselves playing Doom horribly, Mike Diver who writes for Forbes, decided to chime in with an article of his own. He needed to respond to the comments of one Ollie Barter, who happens to write for Forbes as well, and it's an impassioned piece, one that defends games journalism and its journalists to a point. Since a lot of us here read quite a bit of this stuff, or at least more than most, I want to know where you guys kind of land on this. Samir, would you like to make a prenuptial agreement right now?
No.
I'm
just fucking with you.
That's fine. I'm interested to see, like, do you guys believe here? Like, let's just start with the basic question that is asked: do game reviewers, people that review games, post like people that we trust to tell us what's good and what's not, if you believe in that sort of stuff, do they need to be good at games?
Yes.
Yeah, get good. Get good.
Get good.
Bernard,
You have to be knowledgeable.
I'm curious about Bernard's answer.
I mean, they need familiarity with the control scheme, I guess.
So
I mean,
get good, basically.
Yeah, sure. They don't have to be specifically like.
don't
good
let
at
him
that
coerce you,
particular-
dude. Just be honest. Yeah.
They don't have to be specifically like good at the specific game that they're playing, but like, like if it's like in a certain genre, like an FPS genre, then they should be able to, be able to play other shooters. It's like you wouldn't ask someone to review a car for you if they could only ride a bike.
Okay. Alexandra.
I think you can still be critical without being a superstar at a game. I mean, that was a little bit in the article. Like, the argument is that if you're not, one person made was that if you're not good at all games, then don't review it. Or there are issues of crunch and everything with game journalism. You can only learn to play. I mean, you're reviewing new games all the time. So, I mean, how many hours can you put into each different game you're working on? I think you can still make a lot of really good observations about game design or whatever in particular you're analyzing without being a superstar at a game.
So I'm going to paraphrase you by saying, but maybe not so much.
Thank you. Yes,
Okay.
succinct.
No, your points are valid. I just want to make sure that, like,
Yeah.
you don't necessarily have to be good at every game.
Yeah, that's.
Okay.
I feel that way.
Mr. Hitchcock, chime in for me.
Well, I I agree with them that, well, okay, so there's a couple of skills that I feel like are important. I mean, I'm not a journalist, but like that I would feel like I'd want my journalist to have. The first is the critical thinking, and that you can get from just being a good journalist. I understand that's a general skill you can get from a lot of areas. The second is a familiarity with the topic that they're writing about. And part of how I would gauge how familiar they are with the topic is partially like the jargon they use, knowing like what kind of words to use to describe the topic, but also is because also is familiarity with the control scheme. So if they're not familiar with the control scheme, that indicates to me they haven't played a lot of this genre and they're not really familiar with it. I guess you could theoretically just be really critical and just watch a lot of, I don't know, Let's Plays, but I feel like not being able to play a game is indicative of not knowing a lot of the genre, which kind of disqualifies the journalist from being able to give a credible view of the game. So
Mr. Patel, I'll give you the chance to revise your previous statement and chime in if you'd like.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with Bernard. Like, they don't have to be a superstar at the game. They have to be competent. They have to know the vocabulary and like what the genre is about, and have an understanding of it. Because the people that are going to be reading it are most likely going to have a lot of that knowledge, right? And they're coming to that person for a critical insight. And a lot of times, like before a game is out, so they can make a good decision as a consumer. So it's, to me, it's more that the journalist just needs to have that credibility and that backing, which is usually proven by how many people follow them or like visit their website or whatever. So I'm more of the boat of they just have to be competent at the whatever genre of the game that they're reviewing, or previewing or whatever it is.
Nick,
Yes.
you need to be good at games.
Yeah.
Okay, Chris. You want more? Okay,
No,
sure.
I agree because there's so many people have the same opinion. I feel like I'd just be reiterating the same point. I think we have to. The person has to know how to play video games in some sense. I don't know the specifics of what happened with this. I know that they couldn't aim or something, and
For shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
they couldn't move. They couldn't shoot.
It's pretty bad.
They didn't
Yeah,
understand.
it's pretty bad.
the game.
well, I mean, maybe they
From
were
a player's perspective.
maybe they
Right.
were a PC player and they're playing with a Xbox controller. So that can be difficult because
Yeah, for about like 3 minutes until you get the hang
right
of
until
it.
you understand how the
maybe the control scheme was inverted. Like, I mean.
So they should know how to get to the options menu and switch the fucking.
That falls
You're
into
giving them
core
way too much
competency.
benefit.
No, I'm just saying people who play with inverted controls are silly in first-person games.
Hey, hey,
Mr. Morris.
hey.
It implies
Yes.
a certain level of incompetence.
Chris, tell me what you think real quick before I chime
I
in.
feel like if you can't beat Dark Souls, then you shouldn't review video games.
Was that a jab or something?
Wow.
All right.
That's like a.
He set a bar. Nobody else did that here. I appreciate
that's the bar. That's
okay,
the
fair enough.
beat Dark
You
Souls.
have to go through some kind of fucking.
I'm not saying I
Indiana
agree with
Jones
it. I'm just
gauntlet
saying he
and
did
shit.
it. Yeah. All right, Arroyo, go ahead.
Well, can I make a sports corollary here? You know how many sportscasters are? There are a lot of ex-players. Don't get me wrong, but there are also a lot who are not. And we trust them to the end of the earth because they know.
I don't trust them.
You don't
They
even
haven't
watch
beaten
sports.
Dark Souls.
Your point is invalid. No,
Well, my point is that there are actually some of the bookworm types that just know every in and out of all the rules of a very specific sport. And that person is almost more qualified than the ex-player who knew a lot about one very specific role that they took part in or something to that effect.
Are you describing the plot to
And-
Moneyball? Because I feel like you're describing the plot to Moneyball.
Whatever. my point is that I think it's actually perfectly capable that you can be knowledgeable about games and be a good journalist without being like the best at the game that you're reviewing. But that being said, I feel like with video games, in order to gain that knowledge, you kind of have to play.
Exactly.
So it's kind of
I
a
think
weird
that-
difference between sports and games that's starting to surface in my brain right now.
I gotta say, absolutely not. I think it's the same thing between both. I don't think you can.
You'd have to just watch a lot of other people play it, and that's luckily where Twitch comes in. And I think that people could actively review a game if they watch other people play it and they're super knowledgeable about how games work.
Yeah, but okay, I know you made the Moneyball argument and stuff, but that's a statistics game. That's not playing baseball. This isn't the guy. He's not reviewing baseball based on statistics. The guy's.
It was more of a joke, less of an argument. But
I understand.
Yeah, and I'm not the one who made the Moneyball argument.
I understand. I just don't like your argument that it's different between sports and video games. I think you have to be knowledgeable and be a participant in it to be able to give a valid review. Otherwise, I won't respect your opinion because you haven't necessarily played it. Like you don't understand the medium that you're
unless
reviewing.
you're a participant, it's hard to have an opinion about it.
I'm saying somebody who studies something and doesn't participate, it does not have the same like credibility as somebody who actually participates.
Okay.
Oh man, you just
Hold
Marv
on.
Albert.
Hold on. There are
Damn. Damn, Nick
we don't
got
need to
real.
bring Marv Albert into this. Nobody's biting asses around here. Look. we have entire collegiate majors that are based on like ancient fucking languages and art history and stuff, and at no point are we necessarily going to take part in those things, but we hand out degrees to the people that study them.
Experience is 100 times more
we
important
have degrees to
than
make fucking video games, and
than
look how that
academics.
turned out.
Okay.
Just fine.
Jobs hire people based on experience, not academics. They don't care what your GPA is and what you studied.
So
if you
my
have 5
degree
years of
in
experience,
medieval art is irrelevant, is what you're saying.
yes,
But games are interactive. That's different. I mean, it's different.
But so isn't anything you can
Isn't art
study?
history interactive?
But when we have a journalist that can't play a game, he's not interacting appropriately with the game, and therefore it might be the same thing as like, I'm going to go to a museum and look at this piece of art and then formulate an opinion on it and write an article about it, as opposed to actually painting that painting.
But don't you
Right?
think the guy who had an art history degree or who studied art history and didn't get a degree, but
disclaimer
painted
real quick. No
painted
offense
for
to art
weeks,
majors out there.
or like could just like make the greatest painting ever? Like, wouldn't you kind of like trust their opinion a little bit more
Well, so
if they
here's-
were knowledgeable and they had the experience on how to do it?
Oh, sure, absolutely. I'm not going to disagree with that at all. I'm just throwing it out there in the sense that like there are plenty of things that people study and become experts about without actually ever doing it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So my thing is this. I think this is why the internet ruined everything. And as soon as you start putting like gameplay videos and Twitch and YouTube, which all those things I love, but as soon as you start attaching that to journalism, then you've exposed the journalist. Where journalists used to be people that were like, there was a handful of people that used to be faces on the major networks, right? That like people trusted to have like a report given to them, and then they would either assume, take it at its face value, or they would go and do their own research by reading the paper and corroborate their sources, so to speak. However, as soon as you have who might be a fantastic writer, this player might be a fantastic writer, but they can't play fucking Doom to save their lives. Does that make them a bad fucking journalist?
No.
But we just all like. I feel like the vast majority of people like.
We didn't say they made bad journalists. We're saying
they make bad games journalists.
People who don't understand video games can't review
it.
video games. They
There's a
shouldn't.
big
They just
difference.
shouldn't. I'm not saying like they're bad people or they.
But that's like saying you can't be a critic about a movie unless you've made a movie.
Oh, you can be, but I'm not going to trust your opinion if
I'm not. Yeah,
I know that you can't watch movies.
If like.
Yeah, but like Roger Ebert, for instance, like as far as I know, never made a movie. Or if he did, like
he
didn't review himself.
I didn't say they have to
You
make
made a
video
movie.
games in order to review them.
No, but you understand what I'm saying. Like, okay,
no,
yes,
I do.
We all go to movies and watch movies and have a feeling about them.
I think what we're trying to get at here is like the level of credibility that we give someone. Like if we know that they're inherently good at games, we're just immediately going to give them a higher level of credibility, and they can go up and down from there. Whereas like someone who may not have that experience has to work a bit harder to prove it to an audience like us.
And
I think not that we won't ever trust them. It's just that they have to work harder to prove. It's like with me and like how I got my job, right? It's like
How did you get your? No.
working really hard at it.
I'm
It's like
yes.
I didn't have any experience whatsoever, and I had to like prove it. And it's the same thing with everything, right? If you don't have that degree or past knowledge or previous experience, you just have to work harder to prove it.
And I don't agree with your Rupert and Ebert. What are their names again?
Just Ebert. Roger Ebert.
Roger Ebert.
I like Rupert.
God rest his soul.
So Bert and Ernie.
Okay, I don't.
So Beaker.
So I don't agree with that assessment because they are not reviewing how to make reviewing how to make movies. They're reviewing how to watch movies.
So
But their review depends on whether or not someone buys the ticket to go to the movie, just like these reviewers.
Yes, but when video game journalists are not reviewing how to make a video game, they're reviewing how people play them and how people interact with them.
They're reviewing how the game was made and how it plays. Like,
there are questions the journalist is
they're
supposed to
reviewing how
answer.
people interact with it.
There are questions about the journalist is supposed to answer. Some of those can be answered just by observing, like, does it look pretty? Is the game graphically cool?
Yeah.
Other questions, like, is the game fun, are better answered through playing it. It's tough to tell if a game is fun just by looking at it, right? You don't get the experience. And so if somebody isn't good at playing a game, it indicates that they're not familiar with, like, with core concepts about how to make a game fun. What is fun about a game? How do they play this game,
Mm-hmm. I guess what I'm trying to allude to is the larger conversation about how people that are upset about the fact that a game reviewer can't play a game well has more to do with the fact that we're all far too passionate about the shit that we love and just letting people do their fucking jobs.
Yeah, we're not arguing with that.
No, we just found a soft spot with you, and we were poking at it.
Yeah, we're just having fun.
Yeah, that
with
happens
it.
every
You
episode.
mad?
That's fine.
You mad, Joe?
Mad, bro?
I'm good.
You mad?
Mad, bro?
You mad?
What?
You mad? You mad, Seal?
Can you cut his mic?
I
Can
bet
cut
you
his mic right
really
now? No?
fucking
No,
wish you
doesn't
had a
work.
kill switch
No,
right now.
it's that internet thing where we're trying to look for a reason to invalidate other people because there's that. I've read a couple things about how the gamer identity is people are rabidly defending it as a small exclusive group, and that's just not what it is.
It's elitism.
Anymore.
That's kind of, it sounds like it's just like it's gamer elitism. Like people are like,
Exactly.
I was gaming before it was cool. I played Mario. Like, get over yourself. We're a community and it's growing and
It's awesome.
It's like, dude, you guys.
walk up
I agree that it's absolutely community and it is absolutely growing. I just
Nintendo Entertainment.
I feel like people need to calm the hell down when they're talking about their feelings in regards to the things they love.
No, I
Yeah.
agree. It's just
Because this falls into pop culture across all the boards. Like the way Star Wars and Marvel and everything. Like let's just say Disney, for instance, has taken over everything. And that's great, I guess. Because I mean, we're all paying the same amount of money we would be
So-so.
otherwise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To enjoy these things, but. When we all assume a certain amount of control over the things that we love, that's when I feel like our opinions get, I don't know, caustic, maybe. Or had the potential to be caustic. You know what I mean? So, I don't care if my reviewers know how to play games or not. I wonder if their writing is good and if their opinions are valid.
I care.
I can't agree with that.
I still
See,
care a ton.
I care if they can play video games.
Well,
I think
here's
it
the
depends. The subject
here's the
matters.
failsafe. You know what the failsafe is? Is that you have certain like Polygon and Kotaku, I assume, or IGN have like people that have like, here's the guy that does the fighting games. Here's the guy that does the RTSs. Here's the guy that does the role playing games, and here's the guy that does the adventure games. And they have like an expertise in this particular genre.
Who was
and
this
those
guy?
are the ones that do those reviews.
Who was this guy that played the Doom game, that reviewed the Doom game? Which one? Did he play
Clearly not the first-person shooter guy. This was like the weekend assignment that got pushed on because the other guy was on vacation or something.
obviously he hasn't played a game since the original Doom.
It could be a she.
Wait,
all right?
can we all just like talk about how there's a possibility that this was all just a big publicity stunt? Because why would you
It's-
even record the video and put it up?
Right.
Somebody knew. Everybody
quality.
at Polygon, anyone who saw
This
that,
is
any
actually a very good
editor
point.
would already fucking know that this is a really bad idea to make this a publicly displayed video.
we gave them what they wanted.
I kind of wanted to.
Exactly. We're all talking about it
we're
because that's what they
puppets.
want.
But if we're all sitting here talking about how like we shouldn't necessarily be like feeding into this bullshit, then why do we feed into it?
I kind of wanted to bring this up before because
It's your fault for writing the show notes.
Yeah. Blame Joe.
I wanted to bring this up
I
before.
actually didn't write notes for this article at all, so that's really funny that you say that. So that's cool.
Episode 100 is really going downhill quick.
Pass the whiskey out, and
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to say I feel like this is a weird one to talk about because there was a little bit of controversy revolving the reviews around Doom anyways in the first place, where before the game came out, all the reviews were saying the game's shit, and then
Yes.
the game comes out and everybody like, this game's
this
fucking
seems
awesome.
fucking amazing. Yeah.
And so I wonder if this has something to do with that, maybe there's some
A corollary there.
something going on
Maybe.
there.
I don't know about you guys, but I hadn't seen anything from Doom yet, and watching this playthrough, even as shitty as they played, I really want to play Doom now. Like, it just looks so awesome.
Just because I could be like, I could play this fucking better than this guy.
That's because you got the 10 seconds of the Nvidia playthrough right after it, right, where it shows the shitty guy play and then it shows the Nvidia.
The person who knows what they're doing.
and you're like, oh,
It's like one shot motherfuckers.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
No, no.
Bernard, Chris, you want to
Yeah.
chime in on this at all?
I don't know. Let Bernard chime in, I guess.
I was going to pass it on to Chris.
You guys are like game journalists. All right. We're going to take a quick break to fill you in on what we've been scheming about for some time. Big announcements coming your way. More giveaways and other fun shit.
Other
fit shit. Fun shit. I wear a fit shit on my wrist. No. It counts my pounds per shit.
You've taken 3 shits today.
Right.
Your goal
Counts
is
how much
5.
fiber is in
Where do you
your,
charge
your
it?
stool.
I need to eat more.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Sit
Gotta
tight.
keep
Should we
regular.
take it over again, or are we good? Okay, no, we're gonna take a quick break. Sit tight, and we'll be back. And I'll be. Hey, fuck you! It's whiskey, all right? We're doing fine.
Episode
Sit
100.
tight. We'll be back in a minute.
This week, we're offering up 20 copies of Cortex Command, developed and self-published by the crew at Data Realms, and courtesy of our previous Cheat Codes guest, Vlad Miku. This game won 2 IGF awards and has more features in a 2D game than we've ever seen. It's deep. This game usually goes for $20, so because math, that's $400 in games for free. So make sure you check out the giveaways section of our page at cheatcodespodcast.com and get in on all the ways you can enter to win. Thanks again to Vlad, and cheers to the folks at Data Realms. Go out and get your free copy of Cortex Command. All right, back to the show.
All right, panel. It's time for the lightning round. Here's how it works. We're going to take 2 quick topics and give each member of the panel a minute to chime in uninterrupted for the most part. There's an excessive number of us this week, so stay tuned. Bear with us, I guess. At the end of each minute, we will award the panelists a quantity of some type of points based on nothing in particular.
Good luck, Joe. I'm counting on you.
Okay.
Pressure's on.
Ars Technica published a piece claiming that because Valve sold 500,000 Steam controllers, and those numbers included the ones bundled with the prefab Steam machines, that Steam machines haven't even sold 500,000 units. So I want to know if anyone here actually bought one. Does anyone here want to? And if I remember correctly, we were sort of on the page that this might actually be a thing. Steam machines would take off to a certain extent. So what happened? I'm taking minutes with theories, excuses, and most of all, entertaining conjecture. So, once again, ladies first.
Oh, I see. Okay, great.
So,
starting the minute.
Yes.
Okay, great. So this has been out for 7 months, and I had not heard anything about it until this moment. So or until this podcast. So, I mean, right there, maybe just their issue is they need a new social media strategy. So that maybe that's something they could work on. Also, the name is not particularly catchy, in my opinion. So, a major issue they have, I think, is lack of game exclusives, which is pretty much the only reason I want a PlayStation. So, I mean, I'm still tapped out from getting my Xbox One, saving up for a PS4, and VR equipment. So, sorry, not getting one. Sad face.
PC Master Race.
PC Master Race. You gotta say PC Master Race every minute.
Isn't the Steam
excuse me, I'm
just
sorry.
a PC?
Put me down.
No, it's not a PC because it's Linux.
I'm gonna.
PCs can be Linux, Nick. I don't know how to tell you this. I'm sorry I had to break it to you so abruptly.
I think. Yeah.
Alexandra, I will award you the funds to procure your very own Steam machine.
Oh my God, thank you.
Should you decide you'd like to buy one.
That's okay, keep it.
You're gonna get
Knowing that she didn't want one, yeah.
That's fine.
It's fine.
Smart.
He didn't have to spend it on Steam. He was just
Oh, I
giving
mean,
you
I'll
funds.
take it. Totally getting
He's
one.
just-
Right, give me those funds. It's fine. It's good.
Also, you pay back and there's interest.
Oh shit! It is The Sopranos.
45% interest.
Fucking Valve business model, man. What are you gonna do? Mr. Hitchcock.
Woo.
Hey, you have 60 seconds to tell me why you did not buy a
less.
Steam machine.
Or less. I'm only need a couple seconds. Okay, we'll take 4 seconds to laugh. Sure. Okay, so the Steam. Personally, I didn't buy a Steam machine because I have Steam on my PC and it works fantastic, and I think that's a success in its own right. So,
shit.
yeah, QED.
I'm gonna award you big picture mode for real life.
Beautiful graphics upgrade I've been waiting for.
Mr. Patel,
Hello.
you have 60 seconds to tell me why you didn't buy a Steam machine.
I find it very presumptuous of you that you just assume I haven't bought a Steam machine.
Oh.
But anyways, I don't have a Steam machine because
Who's presumptuous now,
Yeah, I know,
motherfucker? Yeah.
right. I know. I have a computer and it runs everything just fine, and I like that. And I had no interest in the Steam machine. I mean, if I wanted a console, I bought a PS4 or Xbox One. And if I really want to play my computer on my TV, I just plug my computer into my TV, and there it goes, and it works. I just had no interest in it.
I'm going to award you one BECU-based credit card that has 0 interest,
Oh, nice.
so that you can spend it on stuff that you want, like bikes and fire dancing
And pants.
and pants.
I do not buy pants. I don't want you spreading these lies on the internet.
Mr. Goldish,
Hey, how's it going?
I'd like to hear your 60 seconds or less on why you didn't buy a Steam machine.
I didn't buy a Steam machine because I actually got the controller and the link, and it worked really well. Then they did a firmware upgrade, and it stopped working as well with the Wi-Fi, which is dumb. But I don't need a Steam machine because I have a PC, which a Steam machine apparently is, says Nathan Hitchcock, but he's a liar. But
I mean,
but I don't like with the Steam Link. I could just basically stream my games to my TV if I really wanted to, and I could just use the Steam controller, which I actually kind of like the Steam controller. Steam machines was always kind of dumb. It was cool. It was a cool idea. I understand why it didn't take off, but whatever. Who cares?
so
And Valve's been fucking up lately anyway, so fuck them. They've been Nintendoing it
Oh.
lately.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you one copy of a fictional Civil War game called Shots Fired. And it exists between the North, who is Valve, and the South, who is Nintendo. Not that Nintendo has slaves or anything, but I'm just saying.
I don't think they're
that's heavy
Nintendoing it
connotation.
well enough because, I can't really fit my Steam controller on
Wait
my
for your
butt.
minute. How about that?
Wait, you missed this. Way to talk over this
If
great
they were
joke.
Nintendoing it well enough, they'd be doing worse than they are now. That's my analogy, Chris.
Yeah, but he was trying to make an analogy about putting stuff up your butt, so everyone missed it. Except me.
Sorry.
I'm so sorry
missed
we
it.
missed that.
I'm sorry, Chris.
Everything comes back
Sorry.
to butt plugs for
Yeah,
you.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Or
it's-
or at
sensing a
least
pattern here.
amiibos.
Yeah.
Am I
What do you
right,
want me to say?
guys?
What do you want
What's
me to
the
say?
difference?
yeah.
yeah.
At least
Mr.
it still vibrates. Amiibos don't.
Thank God.
Luigi's
yet.
ranked number
Are
one.
you saying
yet.
that from experience? That sounds
What are
like
they going to do with all those Wii controllers, dude? They're going to put that gyroscope straight up in that fucking amiibo.
Yeah, but at least it's not the Wii U controller. That's got a big.
Isn't it
And
Joe's
it's got
turn?
a screen. It's got a screen.
Everybody-
All right.
I think
All
it's
right.
Joe's
down.
turn.
Mr. Arroyo,
Yeah.
60
How do I
seconds.
even keep going?
I
after
don't know.
this? All right.
It's up to you.
Why didn't the Steam machines do so well? I think that it's a little too early to tell because the time it's going to matter most is when the next versions of these consoles come out. Like the new version of the Xbox, the new version of the PS4, where they're just PCs that let you swap out components to make this thing better. And then that's when everyone's going to be like, oh, there's this product that's been doing that from the beginning. But then again, then they're going to say, oh, well, so are the trusted products I've been using since the since the beginning of consoles, so maybe I'll stick with that. The people who really love PCs aren't really going to give a shit about Steam machines because they have PCs that run Steam, like everyone else has been saying.
Yep.
Get a
So
link or something.
it turns out that because it turns out Microsoft and Sony made some really brilliant moves here to basically squash Steam machines. So they're never gonna pick up Steam.
Oh, I see what you did there. I see.
Steam machine.
I'm going to award you one book
I can't
that
believe.
used to be called Yo Mama Jokes, and now it's called Dumb Podcast Jokes.
Like the one you just made.
Yeah, thank you, Joe. Thank you.
Well, it wouldn't be fair to me to reward it unless he'd done it first.
I think
So-
you'd write the prologue for that.
Well, that's fine.
shots back and forth.
I'd be I'd be happy to write that forward. By the way, I have
This
no
is what
problem
the
doing
machines want. Stop.
All the infighting.
Stop fighting amongst yourselves.
that. All right, Bernard, you have 1 minute to tell me why you didn't buy a Steam machine.
This is going to
I
take a
feel like I'm
minute.
just going to be echoing everyone else's statements. I have a computer, and I feel like I knew what a Steam machine did like a few months ago, but I totally forgot since it seems to have just totally been irrelevant currently. So it's just, I don't even know what it does anymore. So
It's saying sweet Daft Punk tunes at you.
and my computer can do that.
Bernard is not impressed.
I
Yeah,
actually don't even know what to award him right now.
Apathy.
I'm gonna award you one
What apathy?
Hearthstone card called Apathy. That
No, they don't care about the cards. They want
Oh,
the
no.
backings, the card backs.
so you know what, you give him a prize then. Give him a
All right.
prize.
You get a Hearthstone backing with the Daft Punk guys on it. That's pretty awesome.
good job.
That's pretty awesome.
That was great, Mr. Morris.
Yeah, I have a Steam Link and a router. So, I mean, Right.
Checkmate, Steam.
Wow,
machine.
could Bernard have his minute back?
Got him.
The Steam controller is hot garbage.
That's
I watched Nick play Firewatch with that thing, and I agree with Chris Morris.
Then it's hot garbage.
So yeah, I'm
Alright.
curious.
Nah.
I wanted to ask Nick when it was his turn, but
It works.
Past that. How? Yeah.
Can I award
Explain
Chris
it.
points
Yeah,
first?
go
or-
ahead.
Yeah,
Sure.
I award you
guess.
one pile of hot garbage. Anyway,
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay, back to my real question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's great for games like Civilization or City Skylines.
Agreed.
Is it like a, is it
Agreed.
a mouse? It's like a cursor, like a soft
Yeah, because it's
cursor?
like a mouse, and you have all these buttons to do all this other shit with. But it's not necessarily great for like first-person shooters or anything. But it's good for like those are the kind of things that a lot of console games had
controllers fall
problems
short
with.
of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it worked for that. And
Okay.
then other than that, just plug
Interesting.
in your Xbox controller into the Steam Link, and you can play other games with it. So yeah, whatever.
It's magic.
Yeah, basically.
All right.
Does it actually play sound through the little like?
No.
Yes.
All right,
Shut up.
Erskine, are you ready to repeat everybody, or do you got something new to bring to the table?
I think I might have something new.
All right.
All right.
Rock and
So
roll.
I was fortunate enough to be one of the less than 500,000 to get a Steam controller. It was a Christmas present for my wife. Thank you, Melissa. Appreciate that. And I agree with Nick 100% that it's great for games that need some screen control, not first-person shooters. When you're playing games like Civilization, when you're playing games like, things like Civilization,
It works.
What about Civilization though?
it's nice to be able to like plug in an HDMI cable to my laptop, not necessarily a Steam machine, and I can still use big picture mode to play those games on my giant television, and that's fun. It's nice. It's nice to have a controller because I am a console guy. I'm not a PC guy at all. I don't have a home PC. I don't have a laptop even that runs games, except for Civilization, really well. And I appreciate the fact that people aren't necessarily on board with this yet. I think this is going to be a slow burn. I think everybody needs to just chill the fuck out. And when Half-Life 3 comes out, everybody's going to buy fucking Valve controllers and Steam machines like a motherfucking animals that they are.
Good
and
use
we
of
are.
good use of a minute and a half.
I'm still the fucking host. So
Cutting you off.
I award you 3 Christmas hacks for what happened with Valve. They got all their shit hacked in Christmas. Yeah.
I would like to award you.
Award
I'd
override?
like
Really?
to award you, a handful of Steam controllers, even though we were talking about Steam machines.
I'm gonna
I'm
award
gonna
him
give
a
you
copy of
his-
Civilization.
controller amiibo for your butt.
and we're good.
We may as well keep going. What is that?
Anybody
well,
else?
The
Anybody
guests
else wanna
get
award
to
me something?
award
Sure.
it.
Yeah, totally.
No,
They're all literally like holding their heads against their hands
You
and resenting the fact that they ever came on this show in the first place.
Nathan Hitchcock. What does Joe Erskine get for his minute and a half? Okay, cool.
Still a host.
Free settler.
Free settler.
Oh, that's a great. That's
actually- that's
awesome.
that's
Yeah,
dope.
That's the best one.
It's pretty dope.
Yeah, that's really important because
Well, the more cities you set up, like the happiness,
Unless you're
the happiness
Gandhi.
goes down really quick though. The more cities you set up, so you got to be careful. How you
yeah,
use
but
that shit.
if you know what you're doing, it's okay.
Okay.
You just gotta use it wisely.
I know what I'm fucking doing.
The points awarding
see.
has ended, I think. Unless anyone has a good
No.
Samir?
No.
Nobody can beat a free cylinder.
No.
How many pairs of shorts does he have?
No. Just
For our second lightning round topic, an intrepid and brave group of Russian game developers are making the canceled Battlefront 3 a reality. And they've released screenshots of their free release on a Steam page, as well as acknowledged that they're shocked no one from Disney has shown up to shut them down. Battlefront, the latest, was okay.
Yeah.
But this one makes me think that Battlefront still has a future in a legitimate sense. So tell me, what's the fan in you say is the game franchise you'd make your personal side project a part of? There's no wrong answers here, and I already regretting saying that. But I think it's cool that these guys are actually making this happen, and that J.J. Abrams has at least enough clout at Disney to be like, if fans are having fun with our franchise, don't shut them the fuck down.
Should I start the timer?
Not yet, but I want to hear not about Battlefront 3 from you guys. I want to hear about the franchise. If you guys had a chance to make your own side project from an established franchise, what it would be and how you would do it.
No, I don't.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's a tough question, huh? You don't want to answer it? What's the matter?
Put me on the spot.
Yeah.
Joe's answer
I'll take
is
the first minute.
Uncharted.
I would coerce my way into a producer job at the Battlefront 3 team in Russia, and I would essentially do nothing all day while pretending to
Speak Russian.
The old producer trick.
Dos
There you go.
Vidania.
The old producer trick.
Как дела? Хорошо. It's okay. I think ultimately the franchise that I would try and make a fan recreation of is probably Chrono Trigger, because it's the best game ever.
Aren't they already doing one of those on Kickstarter?
Yeah, thanks.
So, yeah.
Thanks, Chris Morris. Thanks a lot for
I'm
interrupting
just saying,
my minute
you
with
can
your
go
bullshit.
join that team.
Thanks a lot.
We have
Yes.
the Erskine edition.
The Airskin edition.
The Airskin.
Erskine.
That's not how you pronounce it, in case anyone's wondering.
Nobody pronounces it right anyway. You're welcome. I'm done. Chrono
Thank you.
Trigger. Chrono Trigger is a franchise that I would do as a side project. There you go.
Okay. Somebody immediately awarding points.
I give you. I give you.
12. Okay, moving on.
I give you a copy of Chrono Cross.
Fuck that game. Mr. Morris, you're next.
All right, so I want to do a personal fan project for this crazy game called War of the Currents. It's pretty cool. It's owned
Not
by
Battlefront
this
Beef?
like
What the hell is that?
this like massive evil corporation. So hopefully I'll be able to wrangle the rights from them someday, but it's unlikely. That's it.
I'm going to award you one
Or
degree.
Leisure Suit Larry.
One degree
That's
of designerhood from this evil corporation. Bernard, you have 60 seconds or less, if you want, to tell me
Sure,
about the franchise that you would make a passion project out of.
I guess my joke answer would be Mash Ball.
Fuck you, Bernard.
That was it. Why is it a joke answer? That was a great game. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
But the real answer, I'm not sure if anyone's familiar with the series, but the Burnout series, which was made by Criterion before they got hustled into making
Before they got burned
games.
out, you mean?
Burnout was
For
great.
EA, and that series has sort of just kind of died. But yeah, I'd love to see that come back to life in some shape or form.
I love
Nice.
I just want to see your dreams come true, so I'm just going to award you that. How about that? All right, Bernard?
He would rather have played the game, though.
Well, we can't always get what we want, guys.
Things we can't actually deliver on.
Mr. Roy, you got 60 seconds.
Oh, hi. I think that this whole thing is silly. So, the most I
So
can
is
do.
100 episodes of a podcast, by the
Yeah,
way.
you're goddamn right it is. You wonder if I'm running out of shit to say? Well, right now.
It's taking me 100 hours to do so.
I got nothing left in the tank. I would bring back, I don't know, Gradius on NES, maybe, because that was like the greatest series ever.
Wait, really?
Yeah, and if I did, though, just so you know, if I did, I would do it in Unreal. And then everyone would think I was making this game, and I'd get shut down. But all I really did was make a fucking character controller with some art, and that's it. And then everyone thinks that I'm making the next fucking Zelda in Unreal Engine.
I'm going to award you
that's
one
much
free
fun.
copy of Unreal, so and the entry level basic knowledge that exists to make the Gradius port that you want.
That you
but
don't
only,
already-
but
you
only,
already have
but
it.
only for one level.
and Nate will be happy to hear that it has 3D sound.
There you
Just like my headset.
go, Mr. Golish.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey,
This is weird because I've never thought about, and I don't know, maybe this is unusual. I've never thought about working on a project of an IP that it's not been something that I've been a part of in the first place.
Eve.
No, the Eve, when I wanted to work for CCP, that was different. That's like I want to work for the company because they made this great thing. But I don't feel like it's a passion project. It's like it would be a job that I would enjoy. And I've never thought about like, hey, I want to work on this IP. I want to work on this one thing. I like Chris's answer where he's like, I wish we could make War of the Currents. It's like that's something I would get behind also. But for me personally,
Beginning.
it's Muffin Factory, something that I've worked on in the past that I think would be a lot of fun to work on. And that would be my passion project. My passion project is not other people's passions. So,
Goddamn, Nick.
Yikes.
Goddamn.
I award
wanna
you
give you
one
a hug
hipster
right now.
badge for being a game developer. A game developster. That's what you are.
I love that. Tweet it.
That's a good.
Hashtag game developster. Mr. Patel.
Yep.
Talk to me about the passion project you would develop it if you had the reins to do so.
So if I went based off of what I wanted to do when I was a kid, it would probably be a StarCraft project. I played the ever-living crap out of it. I actually made my own maps. I even tried to make a campaign using the world editor, and that was absolute garbage because I never figured out how triggers worked. But I kind of agree with Nick here. If I had to pick something, I mean, like nowadays, I wouldn't be passionate to work on somebody else's IP that I'm not already a part of.
Says the producer of Bungie.
hey, that's mine now too, right? Along with the rest of the teams.
Fair enough.
And I'm super passionate about that. But if I had to make something, it would be something that I've already made before in the past, and I'd want to expand that and explore that more. But yeah, there's nothing that just immediately jumps out at me. It's like, oh, I'd love to make a side project based on this one thing.
Smash Ball 2.
I'm gonna award you one giant skull face cloud that chases a guy across the screen.
I was hoping that would happen.
That's Purple Ronnie.
Purple Ronnie.
Is that literally
You
what
want to
you
give the
named
shout out? What was the name of that?
What was the name of the game?
It was Return to the Sky.
Oh yeah.
You can download
Damn
it
right it was.
at our evilinstitution.com. And
Or you can just Google it and
There's
go
a
from
big
there.
skull on that one. Right?
no, it's
Yeah,
digibet.com.
Yeah.
We all went there, and you can download all these games that we're talking about there.
They're amazing.
A proper shout out.
Yeah.
I kind of want to do like evilinstitution.com and have it do redirect to digipen.com.
It's a fucking horrible idea. It's good.
It's an amazing idea.
Mr. Hitchcock, 60 seconds to tell me about your passion project that isn't the one that you're already working on, obviously, but
Right. So not Chronicles of Illyria.
nice plug.
I would say Half-Life 3. Half-Life 3 confirmed. And I pass on the rest of my 48 seconds.
I award you one Steam machine so that you can play Half-Life 3 on your Steam machine.
That's
Full circle.
Damn
Full
it.
circle, full circle.
God damn it!
It would not be episode.
Happy episode 100, guys.
Alexandra, if you would be so kind, give us our final minute for the evening about the passion project that you would make if you could, without any strings attached.
Hashtag don't fuck it up.
Oh god, no pressure. So, first of all, I'm not sure how I feel about this, especially other people worked on the IP and borrowing like that makes me feel as a narrative designer and writer a little uneasy about that. But aside from that, I have some excellent Master Chief Commander Shepard RPG / fiction going. So nothing weird, but
That's
it's
unfortunate.
pretty much a definitively homoerotic equivalent of 50 Shades of Grey. So balls in your court, Valve. Consider this my
Balls in your
official application. Fingers crossed.
Wow.
I award you the title "Balls in Your Court" for this
That's all I ever wanted. Thank you.
Is that the title of the episode?
I like game developer.
That's really good.
Developster.
Please send this /fiction over to me when you're done with it, and
add butt
Amazon Prime
plugs.
me a bottle of lotion and a box of tissues.
And porn tube links, because obviously. So.
because Overwatch and Tracer and stuff. Mr. Arroyo, could you stop looking at your phone and bring up the script again? That'd be great.
Professional.
If you wanted to know, I was writing down the names of the episodes.
It's fine.
But,
Oh,
I'll just go fuck myself.
Oh, you were doing your job? I'm sorry. You were doing your job.
Yeah, that's fine. No, I was on Facebook, but that's cool.
I have a bit of I'm gonna have a bit of a moment here. This all started almost 2.5 years ago because a bunch of us got drunk in Anaheim and decided while we were at E3 to start a podcast about getting drunk and talking about video games. But here we are, 100 episodes deep. There's easily over 100 hours of our dumbass voices talking a bunch of dumb shit.
And we're ahead of the E3
into the ether. And honestly, it's been one of the best coping mechanisms and best reasons to hang out with my friends and have a beer and talk about the shit that's happening around us in this little bubble that we live in that is the gaming industry. And that's kind of fucking great. Yes, Joe.
I'd like to also point out, if we can get sentimental here, that when we started this 2.5 years ago, we were students
Yes.
And now we're all, working in the industry in
Quote
some
unquote
capacity or
professionals.
another.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's hard for me to use that word still. I don't know. It doesn't
Me
make
too.
sense.
Me too.
Talk to me when I ship a game. And then, but it's also, it's not only cool that we've seen the journey happen over the course of us getting drunk and talking about what's going on in the news, but also that we're capping it off with our return to E3 next week in the professional capacity, where
That
you
is
can
correct.
find me with real fucking business cards.
Right.
This guy. I'll give you one, except I only have a few, so I need to vet you first.
You got to earn it. And there will be challenges on display based on Joe's criteria. But we owe this to the people around us, around me specifically right now, Nick and Joe and Chris and Bernard, who keep this shit living and breathing every week. People like Samir and Nathan and Alexandra, who have come back time and time again, and a bunch of other guests that we talk to. But, I mean, honestly, 8 is enough for one episode. But and to you, the listener, most importantly, like that, you guys keep listening every week. And when I don't know, I do get that little oxytocin fucking dose, that endomorphic like boost of psyche to mental drugs to make me think that this is something worth keeping doing. And I don't know. We're really excited to keep doing it. It's our release after working all day and going through school and now being professionals, and ultimately, I don't know. I wouldn't really have it any other way, because having a couple beers and talking shit out and having just some dumbass conversation about what's happening in the gaming industry is what happens every day anyway. But we're glad you're listening to it. So thank you, listener, most of all.
You guys are awesome.
Thank you guys for being here. And to the listeners, let us know what you're always thinking. Hit us up at the website, Facebook, Twitter, all that fun shit. That's going to do it for us for now. Chris and Bernard, special thanks to you guys for staying up late. I know it's hard being on the East Coast when we're doing this on the West Coast, and thank you for doing it.
I love you guys.
West
I'm
Coast,
gonna
West
be hungover in the morning, but it's okay. I still love you.
Just remember, it's only
Love
Wednesday.
you too, Chris.
Yeah, I know. It's only Wednesday.
Get your work done.
Bernard, thank you, buddy. We appreciate it, man.
It's no problem, man. It's great.
He is shooting a 5-hour energy right now.
Bernard just fucking on point as usual.
But again, most of all, to you listeners, we got a bunch of awesome shit coming your way in the next couple weeks. We're gonna be a handful of us, at least, are gonna be at E3 next week. We're gonna do our best to maybe wrangle some content. We'll see what happens. But we're coming back with 101 for sure in 2 weeks, and we have a massive guest lined up for that. So stay tuned. We love you very much.
Huge.
Huge. How huge is it, Chris?
It might not fit.
Don't do it.
Oh man.
And to for those of you that are listening that know what Willow is, because nobody fucking here does.
I know.
Cheat codes, you are great.
Can we all sing the cheat code song real quick?
Oh yeah, let's do it.
There's a cheat code?
Yeah.
Cheat codes, cheat codes, cheat codes.
Oh my god.
There you go.